Hi, I'm going to explain an important concept in the course of labor economics, specific human capital. I will also talk about why it often involves shared investment between employers and employees. Here is a recreated typical diagram in Lecture 7, and I will begin by defining the core idea. Specific human capital refers to skills and knowledge acquired through training that are valuable only to the current employer. These are not easily transferable to another job. Think of learning a company's specific database or internal procedures, which may not help you in a different firm. So, how do firms and workers decide who pays for this training? We can see the title of this diagram, Specific Training as a Shared Investment. On the vertical axis, we have wages and the value of marginal product. VMP measures how much value a worker adds per hour or unit of work. On the horizontal axis is time, starting from the training period and extending into the future when training is complete. During the training phase, to the left of time star, T star, the worker is being trained and is less productive. This is shown by VMP star, the value of marginal product during training, which is quite low. However, the worker is still being paid, a wage labeled W star, which is higher than VMP star. Thus, area A demonstrates a cost for the employer, who pays more than the worker is producing during training. At the same time, the worker is accepting a wage W star that is lower than their opportunity cost, denoted as W0 or VMP0. So they also bear a cost as indicated by area B. Therefore, both the employer and the employee share the burden of training, which is the so-called the shared investment. After training is complete, productivity increases significantly. Now the worker's value of marginal product jumps to VMP star, and the worker receives a higher wage, W star. However, W star is still less than VMP star, meaning the employer now benefits by paying less than the value the worker creates. This is the employer's payoff for investing in training earlier, as indicated by area D. Meanwhile, the worker earns more than before training, getting a return on their own investments, which is the employee's benefits, as indicated by area C. So some people may argue that why not let just the employer or just the employee pay? Take a salesperson as an example. Assume the employer paid all of the sales training for several months, and the worker learns many skills that are adequate for a deal. However, the worker eventually quits, and the employer will lose all the investments for the training. And on the other hand, some internship in security companies may require the worker to pay all the costs during the training. Assume at the end of the internship, the employer fires them or doesn't raise wages. Then the workers will suffer losses. Suffer loss. And therefore, that's why cost sharing is efficient. It aligns incentives, reduces risk for both parties, and increases the chance the training investment is successful. To sum up, this diagram illustrates a core principle in human capital theory. Investments in specific human capital differ from general training, which the worker usually pays for the entirely because it's transferable. This also helps us understand why training is often regarded as a shared investment, especially when the skills acquired are available only within a firm. It also reflects the logic of long-term employment relationships, productivity-based wages, and the strategic behavior of firms and workers when investing in human capital. Thank you.